Of the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. And Bad English's Jonathan Cain was trained as a classical pianist. It wasn't until he heard some classic pop that he decided to try to combine the two styles.
I listened, to like the Beatles. And then when Elton John came along, I mean, that was like, wow, I could do this on the keyboards, I could play piano like, rock and roll and still have this sort of classical background that I, knew. So he was my link to becoming a songwriter.
Yeah, Jonathan's the chief writing force behind Bad English. Here's a sample of his work. It's The Price of Love.
Number 8.
That's Bad English. Can you spell illiteracy? Yeah, with The Price of Love. Song number 8 this week on the Tidewater Top 30. I am Ellis B. Feaster. And Gloria Estefan was concerned that her singing lessons might affect the quality of her singing voice. But instead, she found a teacher who actually calmed those fears.
Her technique is mainly based on relaxation of all, the areas involved with the singing. Because when you get tense and you block off the air that's coming out, that's when you strain and you push your vocal cords.
Well, Gloria says the lessons have helped her enunciation. And here's an example of the new, improved Gloria Estefan. This is Here We Are.
Number 7.
On Z104.
Here we
That's Gloria Estefan soloing it this time around, and here we are. Whatever happened to the Miami Sound Machine anyway? Does anybody know? Just curious. Oh, well, countdown moves on. The cover girls seem to be everywhere you look. They're on their own calendar. They have their own 1-800 number, and they're now starring in a soft drink ad campaign.
We did 2 commercials. We did a commercial in English and a commercial in Spanish. We're bilingual. So we did that. We did posters. We did billboards. We were on the back of Coca-Cola trucks. It was really great.
They really can't go wrong. That's We Can't Go Wrong with Angel and her pals, the cover girls, on the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. Inching our way closer to that number 1 song. And do the Milli Vanilli guys do their own singing or not? That's the pressing question, and we went straight to the source for some answers.
Yes, we did live concerts in the States, arena tours, we did the MTV tour live. Of course, we sing, and we proved it already, so.
Oh, okay. We believe you, but is that your own hair? Here's Milli Vanilli, All or Nothing. That's Milli Vanilli and the American Music Award winners with All or Nothing on the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. We're up to song number 4 now. It's actually from Chicago, and sometimes life actually imitates art, and the guys from Chicago claim to have actually experienced moments right out of the movie Spinal Tap. Right, guys?
Only when we are in venues where the dressing room is so far from the stage and we start getting lost. I'm sure every band in the world does this, but we always go, rock and roll, Cleveland.
Well, here's Chicago with their smash hit, What Kind of Man Would I Be? Song number 4 on Z104. Chicago, What Kind of Man Would I Be? I don't know. And their smash hit, that's song number 4 on the Tidewater Top 30. I am Ellis B. Feaster, and the countdown moves right along. And Purr from Roxette sees himself as more of a composer than an accomplished musician.
I play guitar, synthesizer, but I don't see myself as a great musician. I play the guitar. Not on the Roxette album, but before I play guitar. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's get dangerous with Roxette. They're at
Number 3
on Z104. That's Roxette and Dangerous. Song number 3 this week on the Tidewater Top 30 with Ellis B. Feaster here. And let's just take a break for a minute. The weather's gotten cooler. Remember what it was like last spring when everything was warm and we were looking forward to summer, and this was one of the songs we were listening to, huh? Nana Cherry, Buffalo Stance on Z104. Z104, number one hit music station. Oh, from last summer 89. Nana Chair and Buffalo Stance. Just hearing that song reminds me of what it was like back when the weather was really warm. Remember, back in January? Coming up, we're going to continue the countdown. What song's holding the number one slot? We're going to find out in minutes right here on the number one hit music station, Z104.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's Unlimited in Denby, across from the Wellness Center.
Z104.
Yeah, expect partial cloudiness this afternoon with a high reaching 50. Clouds tonight, maybe a shower, low of 40. And cloudy and warmer tomorrow with a high reaching 56. Of course, you're going back to work. Right now, we've got 48 on the south side, 48 on the peninsula.
Z104.
And it's the Tidewater Top 30 rolling on. We got a hot extra for you this week. It's a group that's always done their own thing, but they're moving into the musical mainstream, it looks like here. It's the Smithereens and A Girl Like You on Z104. Smithereens, A Girl Like You, a Tidewater Top 30 extra on the number one hit music station, Z104. And back to the numbers. We've got Janet Jackson and Escapade. And how could she not be a big star with all the influences she has around her, mainly her family? I mean, you got Michael Jackson and Jermaine Jackson and Rebe Jackson and Tito Jackson and LaToya Jackson and Jesse Jackson. I mean, how could she not be a star? This is Escapade, and it checks in at
number 2
on Z104. That's Janet Jackson and Going to the Ice-Capades. I'm sorry, I meant Going on an Escapade. That's song number 2 this week on the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. Let's take a break here just for a minute before we get to the number one song. And Elton John has been achieving success for years, and he's still at it. Here's his latest from Mr. John. It's called Sacrifice. A hot extra on the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. That's Elton John and Sacrifice, a hot extra on the Tidewater Top 30 on Z104. And now we're at the spot everybody's been waiting for. We've got a woman holding down the number one spot who's had unbelievable success this year. In fact, probably 14 months ago, you probably didn't even know her name. And she's so big now, she appears in her latest video with a cartoon fox. At the number one spot this week, it's Paula Abdul and Opposites Attract. There she is, hanging onto that number one spot for dear life. She's there again this week. It's Paula Abdul and Opposites Attract. Will she be in the number one spot next week, or will she be dethroned by Janet Jackson and Escapade, Roxette and Dangerous, Milli Vanilli, All or Nothing, Debbie Boone, You Light Up My Life? Debbie? Wait. Okay, I think that puts an end to that possibility. Well, make sure you tune in next Sunday afternoon for the Tidewater Top 30 right here on Z104. We've got Dale Murray and more music than your radio can handle next on Z104.
Arthur, we must